Hello everyone and welcome to my next video. So as you can see today I have my two helpers here with me. So I have Lucy and I have Grace, and today we are going to be reviewing 3 different books from the Usborne Books. So we have, as I said, we've got 3 different books here. So Lucy, what do you have?
Magic painting.
So Lucy has a magic painting book. I have a young adult fiction book, but obviously adults can read it too. And Grace, what do you have?
I have our embroidery kit.
So what we're going to do today, obviously I haven't read this yet, so my review will probably come last because I need to read through this. But today I'm going to be showing you what Lucy thinks of her Narwhal and Sea Creatures magic painting book, and Grace will be showing you a bit of how to do the owl embroidery kit. So here is the Narwhals and Sea Creatures magic painting book. The great thing I've noticed about this book is that they've got a little pouch here for the paintbrush. In other of the magic painting books that I've had before, it's had a little plastic cover, so you lose the paintbrush quite quickly. So obviously they've changed this, so now you can just pull out the paintbrush. I mean, Lucy's already ripped that because she was a bit eager to get it out. So obviously you've got it there and you can just pop it straight back in so that you don't lose it again. So that is a really good point to this book. So inside we have some really beautiful pictures of narwhals and other sea creatures. So Lucy, what one do you want to do? Do you want to do the turtles? What one do you want to do?
This one.
That one? Right, so don't forget you have to put, there's a back flap to these books. So you have to pop that under the page that you're doing so that the water doesn't bleed through. So already you can see how beautiful the colours are on these books. They are really bright, vibrant colours. So the colour actually comes from these black parts on here. So the only trouble is if you are a bit erratic with your painting, like Lucy can be sometimes, the colours do sometimes bleed together. But obviously for an older child, these are perfect because they tend to stay in the lines a bit more.
The water looks a bit blue.
It is a bit blue, isn't it? So literally all you need for this is just your little pot of water and the book, and you're ready to go. So these
and
are really
paintbrush.
Yeah, but the paintbrush is with the book, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's really handy. So they're really good to take if you're going somewhere and you don't want a messy activity. So Lucy is actually, let me just turn the page a minute. So Lucy has finished one already. So there is another one that she's done already. So you can see how beautiful the oranges are, and they're really nice little pictures. So I'll let Lucy carry on. So what do you think about the books then, Luce?
I like that how the colours are, and how cute the pictures look.
Yeah.
And I like how the paintbrush is what you hold is colourful.
It is colourful. So do you think this is a book that you'd like to take somewhere if you had to do an activity?
Yeah. And can I just quickly say that it's another good reason the front cover is like that is that there's less plastic, which means if
Yeah, that's very true.
bits get lost, they won't go into the sea that easily.
That's true. It's good for the environment, isn't it? So while Lucy is finishing her magic painting over there, Grace is going to show us a bit of the owl embroidery kit. Right, do you want to open it?
Yeah, the wall.
So there are a few different sets of the embroidery kit. I think there's mermaids, unicorns, I can't remember what else, to be quite honest, but I know there's a wide range of different ones. So as you can see on the back here, these are suitable for age 7 and up.
So in here there is the instructions. There's the part that you actually sew on, I think, and there's the part that you put all the colours on and you thread through.
Yep. So this is a ring to tighten the fabric so you can stitch on there a bit easier. You've got your colours. So this one has 3 colours. And then obviously we have our instruction booklet. So let's have a quick look in there. So in here, obviously you have all of your instructions and it shows you what to do. So it's nice and easy for them to follow. Right, do you want to get started then, Grace? Okay, so what do we need to do first then, Grace?
So you need to twist at the top of a screw to loosen it. And then push the inner hoop away from the outer one to separate them.
Okay, so there we are. It's in the ring now. So it's nice and tight, but not too tight. Otherwise, what will happen if you do it too tight, Grace?
The fabric will start to stretch and it will probably start ripping.
Right, so now we can start doing the embroidery, can't we? So it gives them all detailed instructions of how to thread the needle and tie the knot and everything. So Grace will go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we have thread the needle and it's all ready to go. So you did have to separate the strands of string, which was a little bit of a pain, but we got there, didn't we?
There was 6 and you had to separate it into 3.
Yep. So now we're going to do the stitches. So it shows you different types of stitch, which is really helpful. Grace has started to make things like dolls dresses as well, so this will really help with that as well. So there's a straight stitch, running stitch, cross stitch, 5-point star, and it just really helps them learn different kind of sewing techniques. So it's really, really good for them. So there's more on here. So, do you want to get started, Grace?
Yeah.
Go on then, what one are you going to do first?
That one.
Straight stitch.
Push the needle up from the back of the fabric at the end of the guideline. Put it all the way through.
So as you can see, we have left the thread a bit long. So if you do it, I mean, it doesn't say to do this in the book, but if you do it, I recommend you cut the length of thread in half, because otherwise it is a bit awkward.
Another good thing is that the needle isn't too pointy, so if you accidentally stab yourself, it doesn't hurt too much.
So the owl is coming along nicely. We've got nice little stitches there. So what colour are we going to go for next, Grace?
Probably the orange.
Orange? Yep, okay.
So I've almost finished my owl. There's just a few bits left to do, but so far I think it's quite good.
What do you think was really fun about it?
I thought the really fun part was doing all the outside, because you didn't really have to change the string, plus it was just really fun to do.
So is there anything you didn't like about the set?
There was one part where you had to separate the threads and they kept on getting knotted, which I didn't really like that much, but overall it was really good.
So as you can see, like, Grace has still got some bits around here to do, but we thought we'd show you now because it can take quite a long time to do, but it does keep them occupied for quite a long time. And as I've said a number of times, it's really good because it helps them develop their stitching techniques and everything like that. And this instruction booklet is really clear and easy to follow. So it's definitely a thumbs up from us. So Lucy has finished with her lovely picture. Was it fun?
Yeah.
What do you like best about it?
I like how the colours are pretty and how they're different colours.
Yeah?
And they like how the green is for the seaweed.
Yeah, it's pretty green, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is that a thumbs up to that book?
Yeah.
Yeah? And I know...
To do some more.
Okay, you're going to do some more? And I know as well there's so many different varieties of the magic painting books as well. So if you're not into narwhals and sea creatures, I know there's unicorn ones, I think they have Cinderella ones and bits and pieces like that. There's so many different varieties. So here is the book that I am going to review. It's called Hideous Beauty by William Hussey. So let's have a look at the blurb. So it says, Dylan falls for Ellis the moment he meets him. He's funny and fearless and makes living in a small town like Ferryvale more bearable. Dylan is head over heels in love, although deep down he sometimes wonders if Ellis is keeping secrets from him. When a tragic accident rips him apart, Dylan begins to discover just how little he knows about the boy he loves, and that Ellis isn't the only person in Ferryvale who's been keeping secrets. So obviously this is a book about two gay men being in love. So in the front it obviously has different things that people have said about this book. A touching tale of LGBTQ plus identity with an intense emotional mystery. Poignant and powerful. Beautifully written and unpredictable. So I can't wait to read this. I mean, I'm a slow reader, well, mainly because I don't really get a lot of time to read, but I will certainly be giving this a go and I will let you know what I think as soon as I've finished it. So there is a little warning at the start of this book saying that it contains many real issues, including grief, trauma, drug use, cancer, physical and sexual abuse. So obviously this is not appropriate for younger readers. So I have just started reading Hideous Beauty. I'm already at chapter 5 and already I can tell it's one of those books that's really hard to put down. You get really into the book. It's really good. It's covering issues at the moment of coming out, and one of the lead characters' best friends has leukemia, and I can already tell this is going to be a really emotional book. So far I am loving it and I can't wait to read the rest. So I have finally finished reading Hideous Beauty, and if I'm honest, when Jodie gave me this book to review, I didn't have very good expectations of it. When you think of Usborne Books, you think of kids books, you think of educational books, and I didn't think that it would have a very good storyline. But I have to say, I was massively impressed with this book. I needed a box of tissues for it. There are so many really, really sad moments. There's some heartwarming moments. And there's great mystery. There's twists in this book. It literally has a bit of everything. So it covers homosexuality. It covers coming out. It covers, I don't want to tell you too much by saying other things, but his best friend has cancer. So that is like a real big issue as well that he's facing in there. So it really does cover so many issues, and it is a really, really good read. As I've said, there's so many twists that you never ever see coming. Quite early on, something major happens, and I tell you what, I was in floods of tears. I was crying like a baby, and you're just like, oh no, I hope that's actually a dream, but it wasn't. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but you really, really need to read this book. It is a really good book. So I definitely give it a thumbs up, and I suggest you go and find this book or give Jodie a message and she will point you in the right direction. So we got our lovely books from Jodie, who is our lovely Usborne representative. So she's kindly enough sent us all of these books. So we would like to say a big thank you to Jodie.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Grace, what was your favourite bit about the owl embroidery kit?
My favourite part was that all the colours that were there were bright, and it helped me learn how to sew.
Right, Lucy, what was your favourite bit about your book?
I loved how the colours are.
I love the colours.
And how cute the animals are.
And I love this book just because it's got so many real life issues in it for young adults, and it's just a really nice read, and it's emotional and heartwarming and everything. So this is definitely a good book. There's also quite a lot of other young adult books as well, so if you like the look of this one, that you can see what other ones they've got as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you again in the next video. Bye!
Bye.